true, baby. Listen up. Ed leans back in his John Deere cap. Says I don't chase clicks, I just chase facts. Got a Bible by the mic, small town on his back. Reads every line before he hits that track. Ronnie in the booth with a notepad full. Cross on his chain, hard, humble but full. We ain't here to judge, just talk what's real. Taste every word before we serve that meal. Red, white, and true. We stand on what we do. Gotta taste your words before you say 'em. 'Cause the truth cuts clean when you lay it. Red, white, and true. We pray on what we choose. If it don't line up with his view, we don't spread it. Red, white, and true. Scrolling that feed, everybody want flame. Pointing at a headline, never read a whole page. It says slow down, son, check that source. Every tongue got power. Pick your course. Ronnie takes a breath, says a quiet prayer. Lord, guard my mouth, let me keep it fair. We talk faith, talk flash, talk the hard news too. But we weigh each word like it's aimed at you. Hey, hey, red, white, and true. We stand on what we do. Gotta taste your words before you say 'em. 'Cause the truth cuts clean when you lay it. Red, white, and true. We pray on what we choose. If it don't line up with his view, we don't spread it. Red, white, and true. We ain't perfect, just forgiving. Trying to walk it out, not just talk opinion. You can disagree, pull up a seat, that's fine. But we keep it in grace when we draw that line. Hey, 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 red, white, and true. We stand on what we do. Gotta taste your words before you say 'em. 'Cause the truth cuts clean when you lay it. Red, white, and true. We pray on what we choose. If it don't line up with his view, we don't spread it. Red, white, and true.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie. And the show starts right now.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie. Now, before we even get our pleasantries out of the way, you might have noticed in the title, it says RWT with Ed and Ronnie. And, you know, Ronnie, I've all along kind of hesitated on cutting down to initials, but I think there's some merit to certain things having the initials RWT with Ed and Ronnie. So
like
you
it.
see that there. It's easier, it's shorter, and you know we're still Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie, but we'll use that moniker RWT part of the time. So what's going on, Ronnie?
Oh, I'm liking the moniker. We could even go RWT WEAR. I had to think about that one for a minute.
Yeah. We got all kind of plays we can do off of that.
That's right. I like that. I like it.
Speaking of plays, we went out and played today.
We absolutely did, and I've got a video of it. Ready?
Yeah.
Fire! There we go. Just freak all the old guys out. We had some fun this morning, that's for sure.
We had some fun. We squeezed a few triggers, and unfortunately, here is what Mary had to say I didn't get to. We missed you, Mary. Sorry that Randy had to work, but
I could have
we-
loaded your ammo. I loaded a lot. I got the thumb to prove it.
Yeah, we did. And we did have fun. Now, it was interesting where we shoot at Old Union Church. There's a cemetery across the street. And as we pulled into the church, they had the tent up for a funeral. So we were kind of on a time frame. It would have been kind of loud for us to be doing what we were just doing during the funeral. So we got done, and grandson Caden, he
oh man,
first time he's ever fired a weapon, and he already is qualified as a sniper, I think.
Oh yeah, his grouping was so tight. We started out with the 22, the one I was shooting in the video, and I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away with how good he shot. I mean, he picked it up like he's done it all along.
Yep. So we had fun, and we're going to have fun here tonight. But we've got, like, you might, if you're listening and you plan on listening all the way through, you might want to go get yourself a drink or a snack, and because we got like huge amount of information, tons of stuff going on in the world. And so Ronnie, I'm going to let you lead things off, and then we'll
well
rock and roll.
We were just talking about shooting, and Caden, if you're watching, man, bravo. So we shot legal firearms that we were legally allowed to possess. However, there is a group of people that is trying to do the opposite.
This is an unregistered 3D printed ghost gun. The government does not know it exists. For the latest issue of the magazine, I traveled to rural Appalachia to investigate a new trend in American society: 3D printed weapons.
And just like that, there's your 3D printed Glock.
3D printed weapons represent a new frontier in the arms industry. They're an easy way for almost anyone to create their own weapon without any kind of registration or paperwork.
This is a 3D printed MP5 known as the SF5. It was designed by Ivan the Troll. It's an open source, a 3D printable at home DIY MP5 that anyone can build pretty much anywhere in the world. There is no serial number on this gun. There was no background check required for me to produce this gun. As far as the government is concerned, this gun doesn't exist, except for this video here today that we were recording.
My guide into this world was a gunmaker who goes by Yeezy. Yeezy believes that everyone, regardless of their identity, deserves the ability to buy, build, or carry whatever armament they want.
We see a lot of queer folk, of trans folk, who want to arm themselves without appearing on a list somewhere. Like, for instance, in California, their entire concealed carry list was leaked to the public. This helps people arm themselves discreetly and effectively.
Left-wing gun enthusiasts in particular worry they may be the first to feel Trump's boot, as his administration has declared anti-fascist groups to be domestic terrorists and stepped up efforts that may prevent specific groups like transgender people from owning firearms. Yeezy thinks the solution to this is a 3D printer.
We see people call trans folks school shooters all the time, even though that's a largely, dishonest way to look at the statistics of mass shooting. And yeah, I've seen people call my friends and colleagues who print guns and who happen to be trans school shooters for doing so. There's this implied violence that people put onto you that by printing guns, you want to enact violence, when that isn't the case. We're peaceful. We're not harmless. My content is also focused around.
All right, I'm going to stop that right there because everybody thinks that trans people are school shooters. Look at the last 3 school shootings.
Well, I think there is a bigger topic here in that for those that want to ban guns, this pretty much says you're never going to ban guns. At this point in time. You couldn't never get all of them out of people's hands anyway, but even if you could, that is perfect example right there of how that will never take place in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Uh,
I find the whole thing of the trans people and 3D printing guns and doing them illegally and well, it's not illegal. As a matter of fact, it's not illegal. You can 3D print guns. I don't know. I don't like that. Because like you said, you're never going to get rid of guns. That's not going to happen. So,
well, before we go on, I would be remiss not to mention the event that happened in our neighborhood this week. Tuesday night after Red, White, and True, about 8, we got done just a few minutes after 8, and about 8:30, we heard strange siren sound out front, and your mom looked through the window and saw a CPD officer's car. So she went out front to see what was going on, and boy, did we have something going on. Go ahead, Ronnie. You fill in some blanks here.
Okay, so I wish I had the video that you took, but when we walked outside, there was a police car right on the curb. There was somebody handcuffed in the car. There was 2 police officers, a paramedic, and 3 firefighters standing there. The street was lined with police cars. There were 2 ambulances, a fire truck. It took a little bit of time, but we finally got the story. Do you want me to tell the story, or?
Yeah, we can leave out all of the early things where we thought and we were, we had reason to think what we did, but go ahead and cut to the chase on what happened.
The neighbor across the street, a gentleman by the name of Rudy, he is mentally challenged. He's lived there for a long time. He was evicted. The landlord canceled the eviction. At some point between 12:30 and 3:30, he came to talk to Mr. Rudy, and Rudy murdered him, bludgeoned him to death. He hung out with the body, tried to get rid of the car. He asked a friend to help get rid of the car, and the friend thought it was a little suspicious, and she called 911. The landlord's son came to the house. He called 911. That was the second call, and that's where we got to it. He tried drinking some bleach to kill himself, and when we saw him in the police car, he was throwing up everywhere. Obviously, if you drink bleach, you're going to throw up. So Rudy was taken to the hospital and then to Bartholomew County Jail, and it's been a roller coaster ride. That night, I think I gave up about midnight, 1 o'clock. You guys gave up like 2 a.m.
Yeah, I think you were between midnight and 1, and we gave up about 2:30. And they got to the crime scene about 8:30 ish.
Yeah,
maybe 8:40. And they were there until probably at least 6 a.m., maybe even a little bit later.
Yeah. Shannon said it was between 6 a.m. and 8:30. So if it was close to 8:30, they were there at least 12 hours.
Yeah. And it was as professional of an operation as you can imagine.
Absolutely.
When you're online and you see a lot of people, F the police and trash talking and all of that. This was a very, very professional. Even since then, we've been interviewed by detectives, and the whole thing has just been top-notch, professional. And at some point, your mom and I will probably let the hires up at CPD know from our experience. And literally, folks, this happened directly across the street. Our address is 1417. That address is 1418. So it is directly across. This took place somewhere between 40 and 60 feet from our front door. And
My apologies. I'm trying to put the video on here through my phone. Uh-oh. Give me just a second. I should have done it. I don't know why I didn't.
So we've known Rudy. We're not using his last name, but we've known Rudy basically ever since we've lived here. You don't see him a lot. You see him coming and going from work more than you see anything, and he doesn't drive himself, but he gets rides. Obviously, there is no motive that has been announced yet. That it's just a sad situation. It's sad that the person that we knew did what he did and is behind bars right now. But it's even more sad that the 89-year-old man who when his obituary came in the paper, he was a very distinguished gentleman with several degrees, and it wouldn't matter if he was a bum on the street. He certainly wouldn't have deserved the fate that this gentleman got. So you got that, Ronnie?
Yes, here is the view from our front porch, right? Well, your front porch right at the beginning. So that was pretty crazy. And you were saying how professional it was and everything, and they were thorough. I've got this video because I found it kind of interesting.
She disappeared for like a day or two. They couldn't find her, and she was the kind you'd walk out of the house and here she comes running from the barn.
Oh, wow.
Up to you. But she went missing in my.
Now that's a panoramic camera, and they had drones. This camera was taking video of everything.
They had spotlights in the street shining on the house to light it up. One of the interesting things is that for a period of time, things kind of were quiet, so to speak. Not a lot of activity, but it was evident when you and your mom were sitting out there, I had come in for a while, that they were waiting on search warrants.
Yeah. And
you could tell when they got the clearance from a search warrant, because then they went and they got busy.
Yeah.
There was a crime scene truck that was there, all kinds of equipment that they just did a heck of a job. And so God bless the family of the gentleman that is deceased. And, we pray for Rudy as well. And the whole episode just is sickening.
Yeah.
It's almost like it didn't happen.
Yeah. It's
unfathomable. Those things normally don't happen in Columbus, Indiana. It's not like we have massive homicides. What would you think, Ronnie? 2, 3, 4 a year, maybe at the most?
Oh my goodness. Maybe 2, if that.
Yeah.
I can only remember a couple. I don't know. I mean, everybody's saying, "Oh, Columbus is becoming Greenwood" or whatever, and I don't believe that. I just think there are people that fly off the handle. They don't think. They don't think about anything other than the moment. And I believe that's what Rudy did. He was only thinking about the moment, and tragically made a massive mistake. So, I mean, I don't know. Like you said, we pray for Rudy. Like I said before, he's got mental issues. So,
we'll see what happens. Let's go back to what you have news-wise.
All right. So we were talking about Mitch McConnell a few times. He's still in the hospital. They released that picture of him and his wife. A lot of people combined or used AI and searched that picture. And the shirt, the way his shirt is wrinkled, is exactly the way it was in a picture of him and his wife on vacation in Hawaii, I believe. And I don't know if this video is real or if it's AI, so don't take me to it. But here's Mitch McConnell.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator Benny.
Yep.
I don't know. What do you think?
AI.
Yeah. That's what I was going towards.
Based upon what she said about 2026, I mean, he's not running for re-election, and I just, who knows? If we had a warning, we'd flash it across the screen. Possible AI,
possible AI. Yeah. We've done some serious stuff.
We've talked a lot about the good of AI and the bad of AI, but I'm hoping that there is a time where that is required, that if it's AI generated, that it's mandatory.
Has a little watermark or something that at least you can. Well, we have done some serious stuff here in the beginning. Let's laugh for a second. So Donald Trump was giving a speech, and there were two characters behind him that decided to do the Trump along with him. It's hilarious. Let's watch.
The United States right now than at any time in the history of our country, and Americans are working today more so than ever before. We have more jobs today than we've ever had. This is with this skirmish we have with the Islamic Republic. Eggs have gone up 4 times. 4 times. I said, I just got here.
I love those videos. I've seen about 100 of them, and those guys sat there the entire speech, and they did the Donald Trump. They did it very well.
Oh, that was humorous, but he said something there that it kind of gets to me when he talks about Iran being a little skirmish. Maybe we need to take it more seriously than a little skirmish. We'll talk more about Iran. Not too much. It's
not too much.
It's on my, roll. Let's roll through the headlines section for a little bit later. Keep on rolling.
All right. So the other day we talked about Mondani in New York. Wanting to arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. He's not allowed, but he's not stopping.
Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal, the architect of a horrific genocide against the Palestinian people. As I've said, I agree with the ICC that Benjamin Netanyahu should be arrested and tried for his crimes, as I do for anyone else charged by the ICC. My administration has reviewed every avenue available under applicable law to determine whether New York City could execute the International Criminal Court's arrest warrant if Benjamin Netanyahu came here. It is clear that we do not have the independent legal authority to enforce this warrant. The federal government, however, does, and I call on them to join the ICC and execute this warrant. And I want to be equally clear. Benjamin Netanyahu is not welcome in New York City, nor is any other war criminal at large. While we cannot end the genocide on our own, we can decide whether our silence will become another weapon, and we can examine every tool we have to defend the humanity and dignity of all people. That is my commitment to you.
That's going to be a big deal.
Says the Muslim in chief of New York City.
Yeah, that's going to turn out into something big. There's already protests planned. They're going to do everything they can to block his convoy, anything like that, it's gonna get ugly in New York City, even uglier than it already is. But so that's definitely something that we're gonna have to watch.
He's going to meet with the president at the White House while he's here in the country. Back to Mamdani and his rhetoric is causing issues for the Jewish community in New York City. There was an Allah Akbar incident this week that was, it wasn't a gun. It wasn't a gun. It was a stabbing. And Mamdani.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them to do something. In the video I showed earlier, the ghost guns, that the ghost guns conversation was not for, hey, buy a 3D printer and you can build a gun and everybody can have a gun. It was aimed at trans persons. They're going to get the Trump's boot and all this noise. So we'll keep an eye on it for you.
I mean, don't you think that the NRA would oppose Trump putting restrictions on things like that?
I don't see how a certain classification of people could have certain regulations and nobody else. Now, and like I said earlier, the last 3 mass shootings, the one at the church, the church school, they were done by trans persons. So it's not a far cry to say, that trans people are able to do this. Now, the suicide rate in trans community is extremely high. I thought that if you think that you're a woman or something and you dress like a woman, that would make you happy, but the suicide rate is crazy high. And it basically comes down to people don't want to pretend. I don't want to pretend that you are something that you're not. If you want to, by all means, but I'm not going to play along in your fantasies. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a difficult situation. It's a mental health situation. I honestly, like we were talking this morning, 150 years ago, they built these monstrosities and people with issues went there and, got help. And unfortunately, President Reagan got decreased funding for some of these. And ever since then, it's not been number one on the ticket. So I honestly think that bring back these giant monstrosity buildings that look haunted and people who have issues or want to do a mass shooting, or they're suspected of, send them there, let them get some mental help. Mental help is a joke in this country. I mean, if I went to CRH tonight and said I feel like killing myself, I get a 3-day vacation, and then in 3 days they kick me out whether I feel like it or not. So a lot of people just don't even say anything about it either.
That's accurate. That's accurate, and that is a problem.
Absolutely. Mental health is a crazy problem in this country, and I don't get it. I don't get it. It's almost like people who have mental issues are kind of like, don't touch, or just let them do their own thing. And we talked earlier about Rudy, and he was scared. His back was against the wall. And if he had some mental help, maybe his landlord, the gentleman, would not have died, unfortunately.
Well, there is a huge story that I don't know. It's obviously been getting coverage, but this is huge. Saudi Arabia and the United States have had an agreement for us to provide nuclear power for them. But the kicker is they must become part of the Abraham Accords. Obviously, That was part of Trump's administration in 2020, the Abraham Accords. That point in time, Israel and several Arab nations, including the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Morocco, and Sudan, all normalized diplomatic relations. The idea was simple. Instead of waiting for the Israeli-Palestine conflict to be resolved before improving relations, Arab nations could begin cooperating with Israel economically and strategically. Now, Saudi Arabia, they have not agreed yet to join the Abraham Accords, but let's look at what that means. Saudi Arabia is the leader of much of the Sunni Muslim world. It controls Islam's two holiest cities, Mecca and Medina. It is one of America's largest strategic partners in the Middle East, and it is the largest Arab economy. I mean, there's tons of money in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yeah.
President Trump announced that proposed U.S.-Saudi civilian nuclear agreement, but it will not again move forward unless Saudi Arabia joins the Abraham Accords. Well, first of all, it's a big deal with I just see why you were laughing.
Yeah. We'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get there. Troublemaker. And Ronnie's not the troublemaker.
Well,
at least not on this instance. Ronnie was the hero in this instance. But anyway,
I wouldn't go that far.
Civilian nuclear cooperation, that's a big thing. I mean, we don't just do that. And that can mean big money for nuclear companies in the United States. I mean, when Saudi Arabia does something, they pay big bucks. And I don't know, Ronnie, that's a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely it is. Absolutely. Well, I just found this a minute ago. This is a story from our friend Randy Lapidus. It came out and I saw it the other day and I was going to save it and I forgot, but Trump has legalized the hunting and killing of the following animals formerly protected under the Endangered Species Act: Florida manatee, monarch butterfly, alligator snapping turtle, northwestern and southwestern pond turtles, California spotted owl, greater sage goose, southern hognose snake, Florida Keys mole skink, or maybe it's skunk, and pygmy three-toed sloths. Now,
except
that is 100,000,000% false. Okay. Now, what he did was lowered funding for the Endangered Species Act in July of 26. It does not, however, legalize the hunting and killing of these animals. I don't know anybody that hunts monarch butterflies anyways. Or what a Florida Keys mole skink is, but the audacity of somebody to put something like that in public without having the full information and causing such a huge ruckus is ridiculous. I didn't know this either. It's illegal to hug a manatee. I never wanted to hug a manatee, but now I know I can't. So
yeah,
thank you, Mama.
Mark that one off your list.
Yeah,
you ain't going to get to do it.
I'm kind of sad about that. So now back to why I was laughing. Are you going to talk about punching Ed in the mouth? Yeah, I punched him in the mouth. Not intentionally.
He did.
Not a full, fist in the teeth. It was
kind of a backhand.
We were, it was right in the back of my hand. I got a little tooth mark here. We were picking up glass and shell casings. One of my favorite things to do in the world. So yeah, we were picking them up and we were digging through the rocks there at Old Union, and we were finding old shell casings. Ed found one, I found one. It's pretty awesome from where we had shot 2 years ago.
Yeah, both.
Oh yeah, over 2 years ago. But all of a sudden, Ed started to fall, and for whatever reason, I put my hand this way to grab him, and when I did, it smacked him straight in the face. I immediately took a step and used the crook of my arm and not save the day, but
Oh yeah,
I'm not going to go that far. I still hit you in the mouth.
That was way better than what my mouth would have suffered had I face planted at the bottom of that pile of rocks.
Yeah.
You have to understand that we were on an incline, and I was at the top, Ronnie was at the bottom, and leaning over that incline, I just leaned a little too far.
Leaned too far, yeah.
And fortunately, Ronnie was close enough that I reached out to try to brace myself off of him. And you know, he threw his arm and, you know,
clocked him right in the face.
There is a tiny fat lip that produced like a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of blood. But that was way better than had I face plant. I might not even be on here tonight because my face would have gotten messed up. It just really would have. And so, yeah, the story from your mom is that you punched me right in the face.
We were just standing there picking up brass, and I just stood up and just clocked you. I mean, I think we need to do a red, white, and true MMA night or something. And you and I are like in the ring.
Yeah, but I couldn't reach you.
Yeah. It was after I hit you in the face that I decided to take a step forward where you could reach me and where I could get you in my arm, and I just had to hit you first, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I told Caden that he was witness to the very first time in my life that I had ever been punched in the mouth.
It wasn't like I punched you. It was more like your face punched the back of my hand.
Yeah. Your mom just said that's elder abuse.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm going to keep a lookout for the sheriff's department.
Yeah, there you go. Good luck them finding where you are.
You're right.
Let me run down through some rapid fire headlines.
Oh, well, don't we have the headline thing on here anymore? No, it's gone. The headline news.
I was thinking that we did still have it.
Breaking news, news alert, weather, short break. I don't. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
All right. Iran military operations remain active, but the administration says diplomacy is still possible. Congress remains divided over presidential war powers. All of that took place. I think we actually hit them 13 consecutive days, and we have skipped a day now. We'll see if we start that over or not. The White House Correspondents' Dinner. I bet you have things on that to show.
I do not. All of my things are from a couple of days ago. The last 2 days I've been insane busy.
Well, Trump used the event to criticize media coverage while also mixing in humor. Imagine that.
Right.
Continued debate over the relationship between the White House and the press. He said some hilarious things that were like double-edged swords. They were humorous, but they had some very, very serious meaning to it. Yeah,
you're awful news. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Well, he actually, we could take maybe a special night and just play some of the best of the correspondence.
Hey, I'm good with that. Yeah.
So, yeah, that was something. The War Powers deal. The House approved a symbolic measure calling for congressional authorization before expanded military action against Iran, while the Senate has taken a different approach. Again, as it said there, that is all symbolic, and much ado about nothing, really. There was a statement from the Houthis today claiming responsibility for an attack on Saudi Arabia-linked facilities with a threat to expand our operations and escalate our actions. Also, this, Ronnie, we may take a second to talk about this.
Let's do it.
Reuters broke some news earlier that said, coming from Iran, and they said a Ukrainian strike killed a sailor on an Iranian vessel in the Caspian Sea, linked to reports of Ukraine hitting a Russian warship there. Now, think about this for a second. The U.S., Israel, and Iran is in a conflict. Russia and Ukraine is in a conflict. But again, we have to say if this is true, because this was an Iranian story. But how does that add to what's going on both places? I mean, that could.
Well, first off, my first question is: they shot at a Russian ship and killed an Iranian sailor?
Well, I believe the way it went was Ukraine said it was a Russian ship. Iran says it was an Iranian ship. And so one of their sailors on an Iranian vessel.
I thought their fleet was underwater.
Well,
wasn't that months ago?
Yes. Let me look again here real quick.
We destroyed them all.
It doesn't say it was a military vessel.
Oh, okay. Okay. That makes sense.
Just an Iranian, according to them, an Iranian, I assume, flagged. But doesn't that, I mean, that crossover, could that expand things? Is it a one-time thing?
Yeah, there's two ways this could go. Oopsie, it was an accident. I'm sorry. Iran forgives and forgets. Number two, now Iran is involved with Ukraine, which I mean, one sailor. I don't think that this is going to happen, but this could merge into something bigger. Now, last week I played the video of China threatening Israel if Israel were to use a nuke. I've seen videos of Russian President Vladimir Putin threatening the same thing. So, you know, again, two ways: oopsie, sorry, we forgive and forget, or Iran and Ukraine in open warfare. You know,
well,
it's happened in the country. I mean, you know, how many times have we bombed a school or a factory making aspirin or a children's hospital or something like that? So, you know, accidents happen.
Well, think about this. It's obvious that Russia has, and Russia and Iran have had I don't know what word I'm looking for, but they have provided each other with different things. Russia is using Iranian drones against Ukraine and that type of thing. So they're obviously working together, whether it be just in swapping military equipment or whatever. So with that, and I mean, that could just like draw everything in together. And I look at it this, and I'm no expert on end times prophecy when it comes to the Gog and Magog, and but I believe that Iran is included, Russia is included, and Turkey might be in there somewhere as well. Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, sorry. My idiot dog decided to want to bark at a butterfly or something.
But there could be. I guess that's my assignment for Tuesday, is to do a little bit more of the research. John Hagee is amazing on those things.
Yes.
And so I'll probably listen to some John Hagee talking about that. And who knows, with this, he may even talk about it currently. So I kind of wanted to take an extra minute there on that because it just seems really interesting.
Again, it's just something else to watch.
Yes, absolutely is. Speaking of watching, actually close your eyes, because the University of Minnesota launched My Gender dolls for children, young children. The dolls are designed to help young kids explore gender identity. No caption of the text of its own beyond just the trend card that it is setting. So it's designed for educators to use, and I believe the age group, I don't have it listed in this note, but I think it was from 4 to 12 is what they were designed for.
4 to 12.
Yep.
4 to 12. 4 to 12. Grooming. That's exactly what that is. Grooming. We don't want transgender. We don't want transgender books, storytelling, and libraries and all this noise, because that's grooming as well. You wonder why there's been an explosion of transgenders. There you go. There you go. That's why. Grooming.
Absolutely. Nancy Mace. Well, that's all right. Nancy Mace is moving to subpoena immigration records for Representative Omar and her family. I just have a summary here. The further story with that is there is information that says that when she came, her parents listed her as 18. There is information that she was only 17. If that's the case, her immigration was fictitious and would be subject to deportation. Now, I'm not thinking that that's going to happen anytime in the near future, but I think it's a good thing that we look deeper all the time into everything Somali that goes along with the United States.
Yep.
You mentioned, we've mentioned more than one time the trans issue. WNBA star Sophie Cunningham had mentioned the trans issue a while back about sports and trans being, actually biological males competing against females. And she had said that, she didn't agree that that should be happening. Of course, now the trans population, I've seen actually, even since I was doing my prep earlier, they've decided to take Sophie Cunningham jerseys and burn them. Which I don't know. It seems to me like if people are getting a hold of Sophie Cunningham jerseys, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't think tons of trans folks have their own Sophie Cunningham jerseys. So they're getting them from somewhere, and which means to me that those are going to be replaced somehow, not from trans folks, but others. And so it may improve sales. But in addition to that, since that story went out, Adidas, who gets compensated by, their sales have skyrocketed. So, what were you going to say about that?
You got to think about that, because people at one point were mad at Taylor Swift, and I don't recall what for, but they went out and bought Taylor Swift merchandise, shirts and album CDs and all that, and then burned them. Do they realize that they already made the purchase, and the company that made them, and ultimately Taylor Swift herself got your money? I would think that it would be more to just boycott than to go ahead and do that. Just boycott her if that's what your thing is. But don't put more money in her pocket and then burn them or act a fool. It makes zero sense.
Yep, it sure does.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm a Star Trek fan, and when Starfleet Academy came out here recently, it's absolutely ridiculous. They're pushing agendas, and everyone's gay, and everyone's okay with that. And I didn't go burn all my Star Trek stuff, I already paid for it. So there you go, Mary. Can't fix stupid.
Well, we both did that at the same time, because
Yep.
you can't fix stupid. And she has a question there, and yes. I have is the answer. Did you see where the former Colts player was deported? And
I did not.
Yes, he was from somewhere in Africa. He was with the Colts in like 2015 and 2016. He's been retired from football for a few years and has had numerous encounters with law enforcement and charges, and he went back where he came from, courtesy of DHS.
Well, don't know what to tell you.
Well, I believe Trump and Hegseth, and I don't know, did Trump ever say FAFO? I know Hegseth has.
Yeah, I don't know if Trump ever has.
But anyway, he FAFO'd, and now he's back in Africa somewhere.
Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Right.
And finally, I wish we had downloaded a photo. There is a really good personal family picture of J.D. Vance, Second Lady Yusa Vance, and their 4 children. J.D. is holding the newest member in the family picture. And
yep,
that was a pretty cool thing.
Yes, it was.
And so there is our news headlines.
That's such a cool graphic. I just had to do that. Sorry.
Yeah, I like it myself.
I love it.
I like it myself.
Thank you, Trevor. All right. So you just talked about Pete Hegseth, and he got into it.
So you're essentially saying you're asking for literally $1.5 trillion for a war that President Trump said he already won. You're asking for $1.5 trillion, unlimited money for bombs, but insufficient money for the American people, for their health care, their food, their housing, and our farmers, Secretary Rollins, who we have cut SNAP program. We are not funding the losses from emergencies that have happened in blue states, particularly when we had frost.
That's not true.
False, you're not funding it. But back to you, Secretary Hegseth.
And I would like to respond to the fertilizer and the gas.
Have your chance, Secretary Hegseth.
There's no reason to be rude.
You are asking for unlimited money for bombs when people can't feed their families. And I don't know how this administration intends to defend those decisions to the American people.
not unlimited bombs, Senator. I'm asking for the right bombs at the right time to ensure we can deter our adversaries into the future. And that's why this is a generational investment. And it was the previous administration that didn't fund this department.
The reason why they are so upset with you and this administration is because the words you have used in the past don't add up. About Iran specifically, you said that we had obliterated, quote unquote, Iran's ability to create nuclear weapons. The president made the same claim. Yet 8 months later, in February of 2026, the president launched an act of war claiming Iran was within 2 weeks of having a weapon. So when you say two very different things, the American people don't know who to believe or what to believe. They just know they can't afford their health care, they can't afford their food, they can't afford housing, and our farmers are continuing to suffer. So, which is true? Was it obliterated or wasn't it? What's the status?
The nuclear sites under Midnight Hammer were obliterated, but Iranians foolishly continued to attempt to pursue nuclear capabilities, which is why we destroyed their defense industrial base and so many of the other capabilities to ensure they can't get to a nuclear weapon. See, we're staying laser focused on the objective, and you're trying to make campaign commercials.
So you're...
Sorry. So right there, she chewed him out and then asked a question. He goes to answer the question. She interrupts him, chews him out again, asks him another question, and then in the middle of his answer, stops him or interrupts him and starts chewing him out again. But did you see where she was concerned only with blue states? Did you hear that?
Yes, she did. I did.
Blue states. Blue.
And if that wasn't a walking, talking point commercial, you know, I'm sitting here thinking exactly what Hegseth said at the end. We're trying to be laser focused while you're trying to make a campaign commercial.
Yep.
But the thing is, Ronnie, that's been a campaign commercial that has been the same commercial over and over and over for decades. Yeah. I mean, they could talk about there can be a brand new topic on the board, and before the conversation is over, they go from that topic to all of these same topics that they've hit hundreds and thousands of times over the years.
And the dribble that she was doing about how they eliminated it during Midnight Hammer, the Iran's nuclear capabilities, and then we had to go to active warfare to eliminate it because they were within 2 weeks. We've shown videos where satellites have proved that these sites were blown up. They go in and they fix it and start doing it all again. So, they're not going to stop till they get a nuclear bomb.
Well, that's the point. They're not going to stop until we put them out of power. Yeah. There's been more talk, not openly, I don't think, but people that got some behind the scenes views and all of looking at regime change. And in my estimation, that should have been one of the very first objectives, because we know, and I know obviously that the higher up know, I know that Trump knows that you can't trust Iran. And we say this practically every live stream. You can't trust them. So our policy forever was you don't negotiate with terrorists. And if they're nothing else, they're terrorists. And all they understand is being a martyr. So let's help them out.
Yep. Let's help them out and take them out.
Absolutely. And Hegseth, he can hold his own with just about anybody.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I felt bad for him the way she was chewing him out and getting into him, but then he just sat there with a smile and answered her question and answered it well.
Yes, very well. You could hear Kennedy in the background as well. She was addressing things to him. Yep. And his response when she was talking over him is, you really don't have to be rude.
Absolutely. And speaking of Kennedy, I've got a Kennedy right here.
I know your advice to the president is private, but this is serious as 4 heart attacks and a stroke. Now, what happens if we come home and end the blockade to the world?
Sir, Iran has the potential to continue to be a threat, and we will need to prepare military
Will they
options
toll
to do
the
that.
strait?
Sir, that's a hypothetical question, and I don't know the answer to that.
Oh, it's not hypothetical. We come home. It's not going to be hypothetical. You know that, General, and I do too. And I appreciate your discretion, but we're down to it. We need some hard answers and some straight talk. What'll happen, Pete?
Senator, I would agree with the chairman, but the likely outcome is they would try to impose their will on the waterways in ways that the world would not like. Call it a toll, call it a fee, call it an exchange, call it control. They would do something that they would try to hold it at issue. Yes, sir.
Would they try to commence development again of a nuclear warhead?
Part of the reason President Trump had to have the courage to do what he did after Midnight Hammer is that they didn't give up their ambitions even though their nuclear sites had been obliterated. So this is a regime hell-bent on nuclear ambitions, and
Guys,
President Trump's been willing to go
straight
after them.
answers. We need straight answers.
4 heart attacks and a stroke.
Yeah. That's pretty serious.
Yeah, right.
But he's spot on.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you that Senator Kennedy likes both of those guys and likes them a lot. And he knows that they're limited in what they can say. They're limited in, especially Kane being active duty military. Hegseth, not as much, but still, and you know, the old talking point thing, it works both ways. You know, Hegseth was using the obliterated talking point there.
Yeah.
But, you know, at least Hegseth was Kane has to give facts. Hegseth can give opinions, and his opinion is, which everybody knows is correct. Yes. But he makes us laugh, but I really, really like him as a legislator. He goes about things in a different manner. It's non-conventional. He's not all hung up on himself. He makes goofy TikToks now but he loves America. And I would think that he would think that is about as good a compliment as he could get. He loves America. And he proves it. He proves it almost every time he opens his mouth.
That's right. Well, let's see here. We're already at 1 hour and 3 minutes, but I've got 2 more. While they were talking about bombs in Iran, this also is going on.
Is Mickey Mouse racist?
Mickey Mouse is not racist.
It's not racist. According to the Smithsonian Institution, one of your exhibits referenced Mickey Mouse as representing, quote, vestiges of longstanding traditions of blackface minstrelsy. Would you describe that as racist?
No, the historical trajectory of the origins of Mickey Mouse tie directly
so Mickey Mouse is rooted in racism. Is that your testimony?
No, sir, it's rooted in minstrelsy.
Minstrelsy, and you don't think that blackface minstrelsy is racist?
It had certain obvious racial overtones that have been well documented.
You think that that's problematic, that Mickey Mouse also has those racial overtones?
It's not for me to determine what's problematic. It's determined to me what's accurate.
Is that right?
Of all things, is Mickey Mouse racist?
Well, that's another topic we could go really, really deep into. It's been proven that the Smithsonian, especially the Smithsonian of American History, has been using a woke ideology as fact, and Trump has had to step in and basically point out that this has always been considered a very sacred holder of history, American history, is woke DEI crap. And I believe there are actually signs that Trump is instructed to be put up that basically say that. The Smithsonian is propagating woke DEI crap.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's sad because it is fun to go. Did you get to go into a Smithsonian when you were in DC?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't remember which ones we went to. I know we went to Air and Space.
Yeah, that one's amazing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So cool. Absolutely. When I was there, they actually had the model of the Enterprise from Star Trek.
Well, you were in your
Star
element.
Trek. Oh my goodness, yeah. So speaking of Star Trek, Captain Kirk and his daughter had stage 4 cancer, and now they are cancer-free.
Actor William Shatner revealing he and his daughter both battled stage 4 cancers at the same time, saying, "Imagine being given months to live. Tonight, both are cancer-free." It was 4 years ago Shatner's daughter Melanie, at age 57, was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. Less than a year later, Shatner himself diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, a malignant melanoma that had spread to his lungs and brain.
His response was like, "I'm going to be fine." You just were like steamroll, like the way you do. You just steamroll through it like I'm stage 4.
I don't believe I'm going to.
Truly.
Fear is blinding. Fear mitigates everything. Fear is a wall. If you're told you're going to die, well, I better get busy and do something. You better get busy. No time, but now.
So thank God Captain Kirk and his daughter are now cancer-free. So that's a big story that just came out, actually.
I have a couple left that are actually related in topic, but two different stories. ISIS, an article that it was the title "Harvest of Jihad in Central Africa." The article tallies 32 attacks in different provinces in Nigeria. According to the person that posted, the attacks incurred 184 casualties who were injured or killed, 102 members of Crusader Armed Forces, including 2 officers, and 82 Christian.
We're back again for another edition of the Republican Party's.
My apology. I moved something and bumped it.
That's all right. These are attacks that happened between July the 1st and the 3rd. We didn't see that on the mainstream media. And this one, similarly, a Nigerian pastor that President Trump has highlighted on social media, says that 9 members of his family have been killed. The pastor, the minister, is an outspoken critic of the killing of Christians by radicalized Muslim members of a militia, and his name is Reverend Ezekiel Dakomo. Now says that the same militia has issued a death threat against him. So they've killed 9 members of his family, show intent to kill him, and we've tried to keep track of things going on with Christians being martyred. Martyred is probably not the right word, because martyrs usually want to be martyrs, and certainly these folks don't want to, but are considered martyrs because they give their life because of what they believe. And we actually bombed over there one trip, and Nigeria is a tough place if you're a Christian. That's all I'll say about that.
Yep.
Well, we made it through everything, or at least I have made it through everything that I have.
I've still got stuff, but it can come on Tuesday, so no big deal.
Well, as I recover from my busted mouth, and your mom's grinning from ear to ear right now.
It's only a matter of time before I punched you in the face.
Most of you know that Ronnie was living here at the father's house in the upstairs, and he has been able to get new digs, temporary digs, before a more permanent move happens. So he's got a background there because the background of where he is at was so bright that you need shades.
There you go.
There he is. So
it's like the sun is right behind me, but it's not. It's over there, so I don't know why it's so stinking bright.
But so, you know, this has all just transpired here in the last few days, and he's not got his setup the way he wants it. So that's why we had. But we just thought we'd be transparent.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Transparent. Oh yeah. You're gonna be a transparent?
No. Are you?
No, God,
no. Anyway,
I'm going to hit you in the mouth for asking me that.
Been there, done that. Well, I hope everybody realizes that we have a really good time doing what we do.
Oh,
and this has been a really good day. It really has.
Other than the massive water leak I had, it's been a great day. Amazing.
Well, that hopefully you got that taken care of, and
yes,
not too much stuff got totally destroyed.
So I changed the final video in honor of my absolute last week with animal control. I have a singing parrot that's pretty good. So.
Actually, now before you play the singing parrot and we say goodbye first, you actually had a cat incident.
I did. Yes. Well, so it was the day before I ended up going to the hospital. Are you talking about the one that was meowing all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the day that I ended up going to the hospital and was septic, I had to pick up a cat. And it was a cute little cat. I'm not a fan of cats, but it was in the back of the van. Meow, 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 meow. The entire way. It was about a 25-30 minute drive, one end of the county, the other. If you're friends with me on Facebook, it's on there. I didn't put it on here for tonight, but it's I named the cat Dr. Beat in honor of our metronome and marching band in high school, and it was something that I listened to for 4 years, and now I get to listen to this cat for 35 minutes. Meow, 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 meow. But so he's in a pen at the Bartholomew County Humane Society, and his name tag says Dr. Beat. So, but
all right. Well, we're going to get out of here. We thank you for being with us. The plan is to be back Tuesday, but we'll be here whenever it's needed. I know that there's some concern that's been raised on what happens to Red, White, and True when Ronnie's work schedule changes, and we'll work something out.
7 o'clock might still be okay. I mean, I don't have to be at work until 10 at night, and it's an hour drive, so I think 7 o'clock will be all right.
And at one point you were going to be having to go at 6, right?
Well, yeah. The first time it was, I would work. They just said day shift, and then when I talked to them on my interview, okay, well, it's not day shift. It's actually 6 to 2 a.m. And then when I got the job, it was 10 a.m. to 6 a.m. Yeah, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So I took that. It works great with my daughter. So full time, more money. I can't do it. Can't complain there. So
that's right. Well,
I get paid to carry a gun.
There's Can't beat that at all.
No.
Well, until we see you again, say goodnight, Ronnie.
Night, everybody. Thank you so much for being here and listening to our shenanigans about me punching him in the face and shooting guns. But hey, when you have a great day, you just got to live it. So thank you very much.
And until we see you again, go out and do the right thing.